Good evening and welcome to the Job Search Solution, the radio program where we talk about looking for a job, changing jobs, changing careers, hiring. And as always, we begin with a prayer. Dear God, grant us thy peace and thy mercy, thy will be done. And in just a few minutes, Rich Savinsky is going to be with us talking about consultants in the workplace. Always has some very interesting topics around consulting that bleed over into general employment also, but especially consulting. He's been at it for so long, he really knows his business. And we've also lately been beginning each evening with a moment of gratitude, just 10 seconds of being grateful for today and everything that might have happened to you. And even the things that weren't so good that you can end up in the long run being grateful for. So take 10 seconds and be grateful. Go. You can't be unhappy when you're grateful. You just can't. Over the next few weeks, last week, and over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about some of the myths of hiring. These are myths on the part of hiring authorities that we found over the years to be so honest and truthful that most employers and hiring authorities really don't want to admit. And we admit them in our reality, the reality of this program and the reality of the job search solution. Last week, we discussed the myth of we're really good at hiring. Probably write a whole book about that. Today, we want to discuss a couple of them. One of them is a myth of we're so busy that we just don't have time to screen candidates like we should. So we're going to pass that off to our HR department or to the admin department or to the secretary or to the purchasing manager or to the whoever's somewhere, somebody. We just don't have time to. They're going to know who the best candidates. We don't have time to screen the best candidates. If you're a hiring authority and you're going to be responsible for hiring and managing a candidate as an employee, you've got to be the person to screen the candidate, to interview and screen the candidate. We find so many people that want to offload that to somebody else. And then they complain that they don't get the right kind of candidates. And then they complain that they don't get the right kind of people. Well, they should have been involved in the first place. Get on the phone with me, go over the resume and screen the candidate. I know it takes time. I know it's not the most fun thing for you to do. If you're an engineer, it's not like engineering. If you're an accountant, it's not like accounting. If you're a sales manager, it's not like selling, but you're going to have to do it. They offload it to, it happened yesterday. I had an employer give me a call and he said, we're just not seeing the right kind of candidates. Well, the reason he's not seeing the right kind of candidates is he's having 3 layers of people screen the candidates before he gets them. And the blunt truth is these people don't know what they're looking for. Now he's told them lip loads of what he expects, of what he thinks he's looking for. They don't really realize they're not in his shoes. One of the initial person that's screening them has been with the company for 4 weeks. How does she know what the company ought to be looking for? And he's leaving that responsibility to her. Well, he just doesn't have time to screen candidates. Look, hiring people takes time. You're just plain going to have to set it aside and do it. And that's why he isn't getting good candidates. Now, we're going to cut through all of that, and I'm going to be the one to be talking to him about the candidates directly. But it just doesn't make sense to have all these people screening all these, and they don't know what they're looking for. And it's sad. He doesn't like doing it. It's what it comes down to. Another one that I hear from time to time, not as often as is real. We never make a mistake in hiring. Very few people are going to say something like this, but never make a mistake in hiring. Now, the people that say that are either liars or they've never hired anybody. Never make a mistake in hiring? Come on. We've all made mistakes in hiring. As I mentioned in these programs before, the issue isn't that you've made a mistake in hiring. The issue is that you rectify the mistake quickly and get rid of the mistake. You're going to make mistakes in hiring. You can screen candidates, interview candidates all you want. You can interview them to the nth degree. I had one organization that interviewed a candidate one time 16 times. She decided that any company that couldn't make a decision after 16 interviews isn't the place where she needed to be. She turned the job down. But you can interview all you want. You can't measure a person's character. You can't measure a person's internal drive. You can't measure a person's integrity. You can't measure stuff like that. Until you get to know them, there's no way. So you gotta know that you're gonna make mistakes in hiring from time to time. The secret is to get rid of your mistakes quickly if you make a mistake. But the person that says we never made a mistake hiring, that's a lie. We all make mistakes hiring. That's just the way it is. We can never be sure. We're never sure. I had a fellow tell me one time that he thinks he made a mistake in hiring the last guy. He hired him from us. And I said, well, gee whiz, you did it. He said, yeah, it was 15 years ago, but I'm still not sure. You never know. All right, we're going to take a short break. Stay tuned. This is Tony Bashir with the Job Search Solution.